Hello, what is up, friends? Welcome back. My name is Kay, and today we are discussing the season finale of Survivor 41. Yes, that is right. Survivor 41 is finally over and a winner has been crowned. Congratulations to Erika for being the first Canadian winner of American Survivor. Yeah, I think I got that right. Congrats to Erika. This finale was 3 hours long. There was a lot to talk about, so let's just get into it. So this whole finale was truly a roller coaster, which I really appreciate. There were a lot of red herrings thrown about, but I kind of like that, and every challenge left me on the edge of my seat. So Erika just starts off this episode on fire when she finds an advantage to the next immunity challenge. This advantage allows her to just beast through the immunity challenge, and she wins with a pretty big lead. And so with Erika safe, all eyes turn to Ricard and Deshawn as possible targets next. Now, like Erika was saying, this choice between Ricard and Deshawn is a battle between head and heart. People love and respect Ricard a hell of a lot more, but that's exactly why he's such a big threat. In my opinion, when it comes to Survivor, if it's a choice between head and heart, most of the times you should just go with your head. I get wanting to go with your gut and that emotions play a big part of it and everything like that, but in Survivor, it's not about who you love and respect more, it's about who you can be. We see Xander and Ricard have a heart-to-heart when Ricard reveals that he has a child due any day now. This tugs at Xander's heartstrings and makes him really emotional, and for a second, he contemplates using his idol to save Ricard. But since this was such a last minute idea edited into the show, I figured it was just a red herring and it wouldn't really work out. We get to Tribal Council, and after having an emotional awakening, we see that Ricard is the next person voted off. This was really bittersweet because I really adore Ricard's ingenuity and charisma, but I don't blame anyone for wanting him gone because those things also made him such a big threat with winner potential. So sorry to see you gone, Ricard, but you were one hell of a player. Now with only 4 people left, we get to the next immunity challenge, which is intense, but we see that Xander is the one that ends up victorious, and now he has a guaranteed spot in the final 3. Since Xander won, he now has the power to choose who's going to be going to the final tribal with him and who's going to have to earn their spot with the fire making contest. And to my total surprise, he decides that he wants to bring Erika to the finals with him because he thinks that she's really good at fire making and will, win the fire making challenge guaranteed, and therefore just have another thing to add on to her resume. This decision has everybody looking at Xander sideways, but I do think it makes sense only if he truly doesn't care whether or not Heather or Deshawn is in the finals with him. But let's be real, at this point, why wouldn't you care who the other person sitting next to you is? Xander's logic gets even more convoluted during this next tribal council. He's talking about how Heather is not a GOAT and how she might actually have a chance. The fuck? He's also talking about how Erika's game isn't respected as much as Deshawn's is. The fuck? And Shan's face during this whole thing is just golden. Even she's looking at Xander like, the fuck? I don't know, maybe it's the starvation, but it seems like all logic has gone out the window with this man. The final 4 fire making between Heather and Deshawn is probably the most nerve-wracking one that I've seen on Survivor. Now I know the fire making is controversial, and if I was a player, I would probably hate it, but as a fan, it really does give us some amazing, intense moments, and I really do enjoy watching it. At first, Deshawn was clearly winning, but then his flame goes out completely, which opens the door for Heather, and then you see Heather building her fire up, and she's almost there. Her fire is like kissing the rope. She's so close, but then all of a sudden her fire starts to fall flat. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Deshawn makes a huge comeback and ends up winning the contest and earning his spot in the final tribal council. Congratulations to Deshawn for that, seriously, because I did not think you were gonna win for a second there, brother. So we finally make it to the final tribal council, and much to Xander's surprise, it's clear that Erika's game is highly respected, but Deshawn and Xander's not so much. much. Deshawn did a lot of people dirty and betrayed a lot of his closest allied members, but he just isn't owning up to it in the end, and Ricard called him out on it. I don't know why people do this. I don't know why people just don't admit that they lied and deceived. Like, it's Survivor. It's fine. Just admit that you lied and you did what you had to do to get where you are. Xander got a lot of heat for choosing to take Erika to the end, and rightfully so. His reads were just really bad, and he seemed to have a lot of trouble explaining his gameplay at the end. His most impressive move was probably diamond handing his idol the whole season. Erika did a great job of playing a low-key middle-of-the-road game, but as Ricard was saying, it's just hard for people to see that since it was under the radar. But she was super well spoken, and in my opinion, she gave the best answers as to what her journey was like and why she should win the game. The votes are read, and with an almost unanimous vote, Erika is crowned the winner of Survivor 41. Congrats to you, Erika. So after watching Deshawn and Xander's more underwhelming responses, I'm not really surprised that Erika took home the win. She played a solid game, but was a boring character to watch, and that made for an underwhelming winner in my opinion. But don't get me wrong, just because it was underwhelming does not mean that Erika is not deserving. Earlier in the season, I predicted that Erika would not win because everybody was talking about how big of a threat she was, but I felt like the edit wasn't doing her any justice to really show what she was doing to have people perceive her that way. Like early in episode 3 or 4, people on Luvu were talking about how scared they were of Erika, and I'm just like, but what is it? What's so scary? Like, I want to know what's scaring you about her. But I felt like they didn't really explain that too much. So that's why I thought that Erika wasn't going to win initially. But hey, that's fine. I have no problems admitting I was wrong. Congratulations to you, Erika. So what are your thoughts of Erika as our season 41 winner? Do you think she deserved the W, or do you think somebody else should have won instead? Let me know in the comments below. Overall, I think this was a slightly above mediocre season-ish. It was alright, okay? It was alright. I'll give you that. It was alright. Still, it has been an absolute blast recapping this season with you all. I will see you all in the spring for Survivor 42, or I will see you this winter if you watch Celebrity Big Brother. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the future. Bye!